Greetings and welcome to another episode of Super Speak Sundays. I'm your host, James the Orator. And as you know, this is a space where we identify ordinary people who have gone on to do some extraordinary things. And today, like we've done in the past, this is no different than any other show we've had. We have identified a great talent, someone who I have known for a great while. This is really a treat. This is someone who I've been watching over the last, probably since I left Gary and probably a little bit before. But this person has done some great things, and you're gonna be surprised. Think about someone who's had the opportunity to really share, intimate moments with celebrities, people who are of influence, politicians, you name it. We all don't have that opportunity, but this person lives their life each and every day to ensure that these folks have what they need on a very high level. And so let me just, without further ado, let me introduce our guest today. Not everyone can say they have the opportunity to hang out with celebrities such as Beyoncé, Julius Irving, and you know who that is, Dr. J, Dave Chapelle, Chow Yun-Fat, Wolf Blitzer, Nicolas Cage, Daniel Wu, and many others. It is all in the day's work for Reggie Martin, who's the head of VIP celebrity relations at the Venetian Macao in China. Reggie Martin was born and raised in East Chicago, Indiana. He attended Winona State University, earning a bachelor's degree in recreational management. Reggie's journey to celebrity started when he ventured into a career with Club Med Resorts. He quickly moved up the ranks by creating experiences for guests in exotic locations such as Bali, the Dominican Republic, and the Bahamas. In 2002, Reggie transitioned to Macau, China, where he served as the club manager for the Westin Resorts. In 2007, Reggie decided to take his talents to the Venetian Macao, where he was responsible for special events. Reggie is now responsible for all non-gaming VIPs. As a result, he has become a trusted confidant for many international dignitaries and celebrities who visit Macau. Reggie is currently one of the U.S. wardens for the U.S. Consulate of Hong Kong for Macau. He also serves as vice chair and founding member of the American Chamber of Commerce in Macau, China. He is a former member of the Board of Governors for the American Chamber of Hong Kong. He also was very instrumental in opening the very first Playboy Club in Asia. In previous years, Reggie Martin received the key of the city of East Chicago, Indiana, his hometown, from the mayor, Anthony Copeland. This honorable gesture recognized his outstanding civic achievements, especially those which improves his community. As you can see, this gentleman has accolades. He's lived a blessed life. Without further ado, let me bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Mr. Reggie Martin. Mr.
Wow.
Martin.
Hey, my brother, how you doing?
Hey, thank you for joining us today on Super Speak Sundays. As I mentioned to you before we got going, I was so excited to have you on the show today. You've done such a great thing, and you've made so many of us proud from Northwest Indiana. So thank you for being here today.
Man, it's a blessing to be here, brother. I really appreciate you
Definitely
being on this platform.
Absolutely. Now, customarily, what we do when we first start the show is we present our guests with a quote. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show the quote, I'm going to read it, and then we're just going to ask you to give us your reaction based on what you've heard and what you've seen.
Okay.
So the quote says, "There is no passion to be found playing small, in setting for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." And that's by Nelson Mandela. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on that is I go back to the Bible. If you don't ask for it, God wants you to ask for the biggest thing, and he will bless you with you as long as you walk by faith and not by sight and manifest that blessing that you ask for. So
Absolutely.
when I believe what Nelson Mandela is saying is, if you put your mind to it and understand you're going to have to go through some trials and tribulations, but through faith, you can get to whatever goal you was trying to reach.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to go back to the earlier years when you were raised, and I mean I know your family quite well, but to get to the point where you are right now, there had to be some foundational elements that were put in place. Talk about the earlier years growing up in East Chicago, Indiana, and how that set the foundation for where you are now.
Well, as you say, we grew up. Both of our families were very close.
Right.
The artist family and the Dix family, and our upbringing. We was raised in church.
Right.
Not we both had great parents. I had a mother and father. I had uncles and grandparents that had high standards for me and all of the kids, not just for me, and all of our kids, just like your family did. So they made it to the point. It's almost like it's embarrassing if you don't go to college and graduate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you didn't want to be that one who didn't go to college and graduate. That was just in the family.
Oh yeah.
Right. But also growing up, East Chicago and Gary is no cakewalk, as we know.
That's right. That's right.
So, even though we grew up in the church, it was a lot of people, me and that grew up in the church that decided to go another direction.
That's right.
So, I have to pat myself on the back, saying that I was blessed and smart enough to surround myself with the right friends.
Right.
And that would keep me, and I would keep them out of trouble. So growing up with you and Mike and Milton and we all thought the same. We never thought it was cool to get in trouble and go to jail.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You better believe
it. We enjoy chasing females too much to join the gang and can't go to this side of town or go to that side of town. So those type of things. Even though I was affiliated from the side of town I grew up in, with the GD, being from the GD side.
That's it.
You affiliated with it, but never was a part of it like that.
Right.
So
right.
Had enough sense to go the right, keep it going the right direction.
In addition to your family, and again, I have to agree, our families, man, play such an important role in our growth and development. You also played basketball. You were an athlete. I mean, you played basketball well enough to get a scholarship to Winona State University. Talk about in addition to what you received from your family, how did basketball play a role in terms of keeping you grounded as well?
Man, great question. I played baseball too. My uncles and everybody, we all said I probably should have stuck with baseball. I was a better baseball player than basketball. But in saying that, people don't know in East Chicago, I actually started off in Gary going to school. Even though I was living in East Chicago, I was going to school in Gary. So I was going to I went to St. Monica.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was going me, Brandon, my cousin Chris, Pastor Kelly, we all was at St. Monica in Gary, Indiana, right?
Okay.
So all these guys from East Chicago, they was making a name for themselves already. Mm-hmm. So nobody knew who Reggie Martin, Brandon Brantley, and Chris Artis was. So we had to really get it from the mud, from the trenches, and build our name up just to make the team. Now, I think people don't understand, when they talk about who the best players they come out of Central, I'm okay with not being one of them. I understand that. But from my perspective, I came from Gary, Indiana, with no name to East Chicago, from private school. They combined it, both schools together. So I had when Kobe Bryant said he had a checklist, I had a checklist. I had to knock out these people to make that team.
That's it.
My goal was to be on that high school team by all means necessary.
Wow.
Right.
You know,
And people don't know my senior year, we was ranked #1 in the state, and I started the first 9 games.
oh wow. So you contribute. You're a contributor. You're a contributor.
Man, there wasn't no fluke. It
Yeah.
wasn't no fluke, you know. So hey, I was able to get a scholarship.
Yeah, but you had some big shoes to fill. I mean, you had your cousin Terry, you know, who was just a beast on the court as well. So there was an expectation that whatever you did, you know, you had to do it well.
Oh yeah, but before Terry, man, I had another dog as an uncle. It's Mike Artis, man.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Mike was the dog. You know,
Okay.
Mike went to Cincinnati, played professional ball.
Yeah.
So Terry had to come by that. But I have to give my uncle Terry credit, man. This is him and Ducky and Jux, all these guys. Larry, rest in peace. Man, I was a shorty, man. My uncle used to pick me up and take me to basketball practice and let me hang out with him and Ducky and all these guys, man. At a young age. Right. A lot of times the seniors and all that, they don't got time for no shorties.
That's right.
So my uncle took me everywhere with him. Everywhere with him.
Okay.
You know, and to the games, to the basketball practice, everywhere my Uncle Terry took me with him. Yeah. And then my Uncle Mike, even though he was living in Cincinnati, he would come back home and take me, Chris, and Brandon to the track and run us to death. And make us run with our right hand behind our back, bouncing the ball with our left hand.
There you go.
Just going around, but don't keep going.
There you go.
So it's what basketball taught us, getting back to your question, was discipline.
That's it.
Was discipline. If you wanted it, you had to go get it. And for me, just being on that team, that I was already successful because I came from Gary, Indiana, to make that team, right? Which nobody knew who I was. Right.
Wow. That's crazy.
Right.
And so you make this team and you get a full ride to Winona State. Is that right? Is it a full ride?
Went to Winona State. Yes, man. Division II.
Okay.
And that was a blessing. Man, before all this, man, I got invited. I tell you a story. I don't want to mention no names, but everybody on the high school team, they would tell you, from Judah and all them. We wasn't getting our letters and stuff from high school.
Oh, okay.
So we had coaches that was not giving letters, to us. Right. And all the players, Sean Miller, everybody can vouch to this. I was the one that had to and I'm not telling people to go do this, but I had to go get it. I was the dog. I went and broke into the coach's office, got everybody letters, and I became the coach to start handing everybody their letters.
Wow. So you're the coach now.
I was doing that I'm the first that brought everybody to basketball camp because I also was taking the basketball camp envelopes and all that they wasn't giving to us. Right. And putting everybody on.
Wow.
Everybody on. Man. And everybody would, from J Bugs to Sean Miller, they all would tell you. So BC All-Stars and all that, I was going to that already at a young age. So I had to already knew at that time, nobody ain't giving me nothing. I had to go get it myself.
You had to go get it.
I had to go get it, right? Wow. But when I went to BC All-Stars and seen Darren Hancock and Tracy Webster and Jamie Brandon, all these, I knew I wasn't going to the NBA. I had to get a good education. Stop at college. So I just didn't get a scholarship, and that's it. I'm successful.
Man. So you get on this campus. You get on this campus with Winona State, and so do you know what you're gonna do when you get on campus? I mean, in terms of a major. I mean, how do you come up with with this major of hospitality management? Is that what it was?
No, man. I went to school. Like what my auntie was doing to be a teacher.
A teacher, okay.
Man, I just got put up in this recreation class, and the head coach of the baseball team was coaching it, and we doing all this rock climbing and doing this. And I went to him after classes, like, man, what did you go to school for?
Yeah.
I don't want to be trapped behind walls. I want to be outside doing this. And he said recreational management. Wow. That changed my life, man. I switched right away. to recreational management, not knowing it was going to take me around the world with it.
Exactly. And that was my next question. So, when you got into recreational management, were you thinking, that you would, maybe do what what this guy told you he was doing? I mean, was that kind of, or did you have? Because obviously, when we look at the connection between you getting those letters and being very industrious and being a person who can create things, it seems like that was a part of who you were. You made things happen. Even though you may have seen him, operate in this capacity, you went and made it into something else. Talk about how once you graduated, how you decided to take it to the next level. Because again, people need to understand you were just another guy who came from Gary, just like everybody else. But there was something that you did, or something that you said, or somebody saw you that took your life in a different direction. Talk about that.
Man, so it's very important, man, to surround yourself with the right friends, man. Mm-hmm. So I after college, man, before college, man, even in high school, I got exposed to a lot of things. I was fortunate to be best friends with Big Dog at during the high school years. And then having Brandon as my family and Chris, I was able, man, to travel around and go to basketball visits like I'm being recruited. I'm acting like I'm being recruited too, because I'm hanging with them, So it opened my eyes to a lot of things. So when I went to college and after college, my little brother, but big brother, Rashard Griffith, was playing overseas already. Man, when Rashard, he didn't want to be over there by himself, man. He paid for a ticket to send me to where he was at, man. It changed my life, man. I said, oh, man, I got it. And Rashard Griffith can tell you, man, I got there and got a job on the team. I was working for the organization that he was playing for.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that.
It's man, you know what? I got a shirt that says "Conversation Rules the Nation." And you know what? One of the things that I think was foundational, and this for anybody who's listened to this, when you learn the art of communication, you're able to express yourself, you're able to build relationships. Those are things that are paramount in being able to move your career or even your life forward. Talk about how you develop those communication skills and what that has meant to you today.
Man, being from East Chicago, man, /Gary, first of all, let's start there, man. When people say, it's funny when we say we're from Indiana, man, I don't know I don't know not one thing about Indiana except we got great taxes, better than Illinois. But besides that, man, everything is Chicago, man.
That's
Chicago
it.
Bulls, the Chicago News, Chicago.
That's all we saw.
The whole culture is Chicago, man. So
house music.
House music, everything, we not even on the same time frame as Indiana.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So coming, being a part of that whole Northwest section, man, the gift of gab, man, I learned the power of having relationships. I was that guy that can go to every place in East Chicago or Gary and not have problems, right? Because I knew the shot callers, I knew everybody, and they, and I would get a pass on a lot of things, even with the, with the GDs and vice lords and like, I had no problems. I had nobody trying to bully me, no thugging. So all that came with having a great personality. So that coming from that situation. That's already politics.
That's it.
That's already. You already learned it politicking right there.
Right.
To just move around, right? Now, I tell people this all the time, brother. I would take power and influence over money any time of the day.
Yeah.
And I give you an example. I'm blessed to go to NBA games or whatever and sit on the floor.
Yeah.
Money can't buy you those tickets on the floor.
It's relationships.
You have to, they are given to you, right? You cannot buy that. Going to the Oscars, sitting in the first 3 rows, you can't buy that.
Yeah.
That's given. Yeah. So the gift of gab, having great relationships, can give you a great lifestyle without you really even have to spend a dollar.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And this is facts.
Well,
This is facts. So when people spend all their life chasing a dollar, I have to laugh at them, because I lived an amazing lifestyle, flying on private planes and doing all this, bro. And you know, not spending no money. Floyd owns a plane, but I'm still on the private plane too. I don't have to own it, but I'm still flying on private planes too.
Right. Wow.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So,
hey. I know sometimes you probably sit back and you have to pinch yourself, when you think about, how far you've come. And even, sometimes, when people
I do it all the time, brother. And I'm always thankful and grateful, because I know that split second you take it for granted, it all can be taken away from you.
That's right.
Right. So I'm very thankful, and I learned, man, life is full of, living in the moments. Just as quick as a good time coming goes by even quicker. So you really have to grab that moment and really really appreciate it. Right. So every time I would do first time flying on a private plane, or staying in these suites and hotels and going to these events, man, I cherish that. Like, this might not happen again. So I have to, and I always have this mentality. I have to enjoy every moment of it, appreciate it, say thank you to everybody, because it's easily can be taken away from you.
Right. Absolutely. You mentioned something about mentality. The mind is a very, I know, from a medical standpoint, I mean, it's not the strongest part of the body, but it definitely controls everything that we do. Where you are today, man. It's again, I think people need to understand all the blessings, man, that you have been given, and what this has meant for your life, what it's meant for your family's life. Talk a little bit about that.
Man, that's a good question. Mentality. And I do a good job. Okay.
No, I was gonna say, because there are people who are watching, who need to believe that they can. Here you are, you've proven that it can be done. People need to know that they can. And it all starts with the mind.
It all starts with, man, walking by faith and not by sight. And understanding the devil works just as hard as God. So the devil also got 24 hours to get in your mind and tell you, you can't do this, you can't do that. And if you allow him to influence you anyway, a lot of times people just quit or get scared to do something. So people get scared of change, right? Because many people, including myself before, used to identify change with a negative response. But then I learned, like, no, change, that's 50-50. Change can also be amazing too.
Yeah.
Right? Because we get caught up in our comfort zone. So we get nervous of a little change.
That's it.
Right? So once I understood that, hey, you know what? Bad things happen to good people too. It's nothing you can do about that. You got to go and enjoy yourself, and don't let the mental aspect stop you from doing something. You only on this life for a very short time.
Oh man.
Even after this interview, I can go right now.
Yeah.
But I always say, one thing y'all will say, I lived an amazing life.
That's it.
Right. And also, man, I just had amazing parents, man, and amazing uncles and things that helped me. If I'm ever going through a situation, I can call, some uncles, and I always understood they've been through everything before I've been through. Right?
That's right.
And then I got a father that always, calmed me down on things. Right.
That's it.
Right. And then my mother who's going and my father, you know, who's gonna
Yeah.
always be there no matter what I do.
That's right.
You
That's
get
right.
what I'm saying? And
Oh
then my
yeah.
brother. So it all, man, I've just been so blessed, brother.
Yeah, man.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's
and
all
then
over you,
just
man.
have
It's all over you.
have so many friends. Like, bro, you know, so many people were scared failing, right?
Yeah,
So what are they scared of? They scared of what other people would think about them if they
absolutely.
failed, if they lost their job.
Right.
Bro, I'm surrounded by so much love, man, at home. With, man, I can call it J Bug, Victor Bear, man,
Yeah.
Reese. I got so much people, man. If I never worried about that, because if I fail, I still got them like, man, that ain't nothing, man. Come on, man,
Right.
what you gonna do
Keep
next?
it moving.
You
Keep it
you
moving.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. You got to
I
keep it moving.
never keep it
Yeah.
moving, right? People lose jobs every day. So what are
Yeah,
you
man.
tripping on? So
Right.
I've been blessed never to be worried about what people think, because I have loans, I have a solid foundation with friends
Yeah.
and family behind me.
Right.
It ain't nothing nobody else can say
Nah, man.
that's gonna bother me mentally.
Right.
You,
Right.
you get what I'm
Oh
saying?
no, I'm right with you. I mean, again, it's the power of the mind, man.
It's the power of the mind, bro.
Yeah, it's the power of the mind. You know, I want to kind of transition to your work, in the celebrity arena. Talk about the very first time that who's the first celebrity you met, and how did you feel? I mean, was this the first? I mean, I'm sure you met a celebrity probably before you started working in the business, but talk about serving that very first celebrity. Who was the celebrity, and how did it go?
Bro, man, you asking the wrong person, bro. My very first celebrity I met, man, was my Uncle Mike and Uncle Terry,
There
man,
you
in
go.
East Chicago Roosevelt, brother.
Okay, okay,
The Rough Riders, bro. So
right.
you know,
EC Rough Riders. Yeah,
Harry Irving, my uncle, all that Donkey. That
your
was
heroes.
my heroes, bro. And
Yeah,
I, at that age, I say I want to carry out that ball, bro. It affected me so much when I got to Central. I actually did the same cheer and the same sayings that they
yeah,
did back in
yeah.
at that time.
At the Rough
You
Riders,
know,
the Rough
so
Riders.
at that time, 82 and all that, right,
Yeah.
bro?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know, they was
Yeah.
my first time that I just felt like, man, I'm just so happy to be with these guys. And even now, man, when I'm sitting down in East Chicago and talking to my uncle and Terry and then my uncle Mike and what they done done. And man, my uncle Mike, man, had a big picture at my grandmother's house that used to be on the wall of the gym, bro, because they won the state.
Right.
You,
Oh
you know
man.
what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm
Oh
coming
yeah.
home to that, bro. You know,
Man,
so
that's serious.
so
That's serious.
so
That's
that, but
serious.
then I know what you mean. I don't know, man. I mean, then I'm coming up with Glenn. Glenn was a
Yeah.
star, man.
Yeah.
Then
Big Dog
Brandon,
Robinson. Right.
and
We had
Brandon.
we had Brandon. We had Brandon on the show a couple weeks ago. So yeah.
Yeah,
He's
man. I
yeah.
mean, I don't, you know, East Chicago and Gary probably wasn't looking at them like that, but I
Mm-hmm.
was with them when we was
Right.
going to places, right?
Right.
So
Oh yeah.
I'm seeing like, wow. And then Rashard Griffith, man, Rashard was, you got
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, then you got Rashard Griffith
Yeah. Yeah.
in
No doubt.
Chicago, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, man.
I would say them was my first, bro, you
Okay.
know,
Okay.
outside of, you know, the Rough Riders.
Right. Right.
That I'm like seeing some real, you know, being around some real stuff that I'm seeing like, oh man, these guys are, people around here don't know how big these guys are.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and from that, which I guess that laid the foundation for you to deal with so many other people. And again, I think
But bro, I took, not to cut you off,
go
I
ahead.
understood I wasn't going to the NBA at a young age.
Right.
And I also understood, man, through Glenn, Brandon, Chris, Richard, and my uncle JD and all them taking me places,
Yeah.
you know, taking me to every last one of Chris games. So Chris is younger than me, but I was at all of his AAU games and all that every chance I can get.
Right.
Bro, I knew, and my Uncle JD would tell you, man, I'm working the crowd. So I got to take advantage of being in the building.
Right.
You never I always thought you never know who you might meet that can change your life.
That's it. It
only takes one.
It only takes one.
Only takes one, man. Only takes one, bro. Yeah. So when I'm at the games and all that, I'm working it, man. I'm working. I'm like, that's such and such. I'm politicking, man. That's such and such here. You know, Rashad the King and all that such and such.
Yeah,
man, I was taking advantage of meeting all these people. I didn't know how I was gonna gel out, but I know I'm in the right room.
That's right. For
something to pop off.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? There's a young person who is trying to decide on a career, you know, a major in school, and of course, you know, you're not gonna do this forever. I mean, one day you're gonna retire, and you're gonna have a replacement. You know, and so someone who's interested in your career field, what kind of things should they be doing right now to help strengthen a foundation? You know, they're interested in serving.
Man, get out their comfort zone, man.
Okay.
Stop hanging with the same people every day. Your best friends is gonna be your best friends. You already know them. You already had experience. Go experience other people.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know, get to meet, you know, when you go to, you know, when you're in high school, meet other people from other high schools. You know, literally, man, me and Sean Miller can, you know, all this is facts when I'm saying me, Sean Miller, a couple guys, we would leave Central, man, and go to the Dub, Gary Lewallis and Gary Roosevelt at lunchtime or after school.
Right.
And never had no problems because we was cool with everybody.
Right.
Exactly. And meeting other people, man. So you know, you gotta, I understood at a young age the power of relationships. It can take you a long way, and it doesn't have to be necessarily financially. It could be, again, you can live a lifestyle not being a billionaire, but still living a billionaire's lifestyle.
That's right, because it all starts with the mind.
It all starts with the mind, brother. It all starts with the mind, man.
Yeah. Man, final thoughts. Tell these folks something, man, that will change their lives. I know we've been talking about the mind a lot. I know we've been talking about get out of the comfort zone. But again, somebody's watching this, man, and we're really trying to transition people from one place to the other, man. We want people to become great. And I think they can do that by seeing you, man, and hearing your story. And you told it very well today. We definitely appreciate you.
Man, the power of manifestation, bro. It's powerful, bro.
That's it.
You literally can manifest. Man, you pray, you first you dream it, you pray for it, and you manifest it.
Wow.
And it might not come when you think you ready, but then you're gonna realize it was right on time when God gave it to you. Because if he would have gave it to you when you thought you was ready, you would have fumbled.
You would have fumbled, man. That's for sure.
You would have fumbled, right?
That's for sure.
You gotta be patient and let the book fully open without closing the book or reading it halfway. Let it fully open, man. But manifestation, man, it's powerful, bro. And understanding, the number one thing in understanding trials and tribulations.
That's it.
Once I understood that, bro, why not you? God was on the cross, bro. His father put him on the cross. So why you think you not supposed to go through anything?
That's right. Right.
You gonna go through it.
A life with no challenges.
Man, as long as you know the storm, right? And he said you're gonna have multiple storms in a lifetime. But as long as you have faith in me, the storm won't last, right?
Absolutely.
So you just gotta hold on through those hard times, man, and keep pushing. And yes, the devil gonna be there 24 hours, working hard too, trying to get to your mind mentally.
Right.
But you gotta break. You know, messing with your sleep and all that. We all go through it, but you got to know my God is bigger than your giant.
That's it. Hey, on the tickler here, we have the Venetian Macao, and we've left the website. We want people to come and visit on vacation and all that good stuff. What will they see when they visit this website?
Man, the biggest casino hotel in the world. in Asia, bro.
Okay.
The second like in the world, bro.
Wow.
It's amazing. The building. It's one of the biggest buildings in the world.
Wow. Wow.
You know, right here in Macau. It's amazing, bro. And you know, people talk about Dubai, but Macau, man, we have some amazing buildings, amazing history,
Right.
amazing food, amazing people. It's just amazing place, man. I've been here for a long time. I'm not gonna stay somewhere I'm not wanted or don't feel wanted.
Exactly.
You know,
I gotta make my way there, man, soon.
Man, the door is open, man.
I've seen the pictures and all that good stuff. Hey, man, we want to definitely thank you for for taking the time today. It's been a true blessing just to kind of hear. You don't even know it, man, but you've given a testimony, man, and you've really given people some tools to work with. Because sometimes people can see a Reggie Martin and think, oh, this guy's flawless. He doesn't have anything that goes on. But you have told people that that you have had some ups and downs, but you've been able to work through them. And so we appreciate you.
Yeah. We all good actors and actresses, man. I make it look easy, man, but I put a lot of stuff behind the curtains.
Yes, sir.
Yes, but no, I do go through trials and tribulations like the next person, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just handle it different.
There you go. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just witnessed Mr. Reggie Martin. Make sure that you Google his name and see all the great things he's doing. This is Reggie Martin. He is his own brand. They can follow you on
Instagram, Reggie Martin 10.
Okay. And then you're also on any other social media?
LinkedIn.
Okay.
LinkedIn, yes.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Reggie Martin, put your hands together for him. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Appreciate you, man. Hometown.
Hey, yes, sir. Thank you for taking the time. We really appreciate it. And we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Tell the family we said hello. And
we'll do.
We're going to peace out.
219 in the building. Peace.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is by far one of those special interviews that I've been waiting to do this one. I've had it on my list. And you know what? We finally had the opportunity to bring Mr. Reggie Martin on. It was nothing short of what I thought. I mean, he's always been transparent. He's always told the truth. But it's something about someone who has a pure heart and who's willing to share their journey, share their successes, their shortcomings. This means a lot. And so, you know what? You can do it too. And he told you, it's all about, what you do with your mind. Go out and be great because God made you great. And plus, if you've never heard this in a long time, you know what? We want you to know we love you. Until next time, I'm James the Orator here with Super Speak Sundays. Don't forget to visit our YouTube page, bottom right corner, hover over that red dot and subscribe to that channel. We'll see you next time.